Have you heard of Salesforce Saturday meetings? How are they different from user group meetings or developer meetings? This video covers how Salesforce Saturdays are different and how you can find or set up a Salesforce Saturday. Welcome to 100 Days of Trailhead, where the tech community comes to learn Salesforce, learn tech, get inspired, and invest in ourselves. We are your trail guides, here to support you on your learning journey. We release videos weekly. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a video. In the description below, you can find links for everything we mention in this video, as well as books and resources we found useful. Visit our blog, 100daysoftrailhead.com, for other helpful Salesforce and tech content. Are you interested in joining a Salesforce Saturday, or maybe you want to start one? This video is for you so you can connect to a larger community. Mary Tagler is a Salesforce Saturday leader in Chicago and is an industry veteran with over 30 years of experience designing, developing, and delivering custom software solutions. About 5 years ago, Mary became passionate about learning Salesforce and subsequently MuleSoft. She brought that passion to the Hershey Company, where she led the formation of their MuleSoft Center for Enablement, and now has been given the opportunity to grow the MuleSoft practice from the ground up at Avianos.
Welcome to How to Start a Salesforce Saturday. I'm your tour guide, Mary Tagler. So here's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. Then we're going to go into the history of Salesforce Saturday, where to start, logistics, and the secret sauce to having a successful Salesforce Saturday chapter. So a little bit about me. I'm a lead application administrator at Relativity in Chicago. I'm a Salesforce MVP and a Salesforce Platform Champion. And in 2017, I started the Chicago Salesforce Saturday chapter. I met Stephanie Herrera at Trailhead DX that year and was on the fence about starting a chapter in my hometown. And she really encouraged me to take that leap. And I don't regret a single minute of it. So with that, let's jump in and let's talk about Salesforce Saturday. And to do that, we begin in the beginning. What is Salesforce Saturday? Salesforce Saturday started in 2015 in Austin, Texas, by that very same Stephanie Herrera who encouraged me to take that leap. It's a time to get together and meet your fellow Ohana. It's a time to ask questions, mentor, collaborate, earn badges, or just have fun. What's unique about Salesforce Saturdays is many times they don't have an official agenda. For me, it's always been a wonderful way to meet my fellow Ohana and to provide and seek guidance from those within the ecosystem. And again, most of all, to have fun. Today, we have chapters worldwide in too many cities and countries to count or name. But before we move on, we should also talk about what Salesforce Saturday is not. Salesforce Saturday is not a Salesforce-sponsored Trailblazer community group. Trailblazer community groups are approved by Salesforce, have named leaders, and do have certain perks, which include a budget. They also have certain requirements, which include things like meeting frequency requirements. If you're interested in learning more about what Trailblazer community groups are, I encourage you to see the link that we will make available in the resource. So where do you start? You're going to start by doing your homework, and you're going to do that in a couple ways. The first thing is you're going to visit our website, salesforcesaturday.com, and see if there's a chapter already in your backyard. We self-report, so it's possible that there is a chapter, but it's not listed. And because of that, we're going to keep digging, and we're going to connect with our community group leaders locally. The reason I recommend you connect with your community group leaders is not only to see if there's a group, but to establish a dialogue with them, to let them know what you're planning on creating. It's possible your local leaders are unfamiliar with Salesforce Saturday, so it's also an opportunity to educate them. Community group leaders can be your biggest allies, so it's important to involve them early. The next thing I recommend doing is phoning a friend. It takes a village. There are a lot of moving parts to creating Salesforce Saturday, and it's always fun to have someone to take that leap with. If there's already a group in your area, reach out to that organizer. Maybe they want a hand. And lastly, plan your attack. I follow the mantra, keep it simple. Keep it simple, meaning you can always scale up. It's harder to scale back. So I encourage all new groups to meet only once a month at most for at least their first 6 to 12 months till they develop their rhythm, and then grow your group. So let's talk logistics. One of the most important things to running a Salesforce Saturday group is promotion. I cannot say this enough. Consider creating a group in the Trailblazer community. To do that, anyone can create a group and manage it and accept members to that group. It's a great way to streamline communications with those in the Salesforce ecosystem. It's not an official user group, to be clear, it's separate. Also, look to social media, Twitter and LinkedIn in particular. You can choose whether or not to create a standalone Twitter handle for your group. Personally, I like to manage one account, so I use my personal account, but many groups have their own. Again, keeping it simple, think about starting with your own personal handle and expanding to then include a dedicated handle for Salesforce Saturday. And always tweet with the hashtag Salesforce Saturday to guarantee visibility among others in the Salesforce Ohana. Leverage LinkedIn, post links to your events or direct them back to your community group that way. And lastly, join our organizer workspace in Slack. That link will be provided to you in the resources. The next thing you need to think about is event management. You are, after all, running some regular events. So you need to think about how you're going to collect registration. The two most popular tools that Salesforce Saturday organizers use are Meetup and Eventbrite. I personally use Eventbrite for a few reasons. First and foremost, it's free. Other perks include connecting my Zoom to the Eventbrite, scheduling emails to go out to my attendees, and also having access to those email addresses should I need it to follow up on other activities. The next thing you need to think about is meeting space, both virtual and physical. Physical space, when you're able to meet in person, will likely be your biggest challenge because after all, you have no budget. I personally have had the most success with local libraries, fellow attendees' workspaces, and occasionally coffee shops if we can get some dedicated space on busy Saturdays. If you do decide to meet in a public space, ensure you understand what kinds of restrictions come with that space. Those would include meeting length or limits on how long you can use the Wi-Fi. If you're meeting in an office, make sure you understand the building's security requirements. Will you need to provide an attendee list in advance? And how far in advance do you need to provide that? And whenever possible, try and locate spaces that are central so you can attract as many attendees as possible. And when you're done meeting in a physical space, be sure to give your hosts a shout out on social media, in person, whatever you feel is most appropriate. And for those virtual meetings, make sure you have some type of access to an online meeting platform. And if you don't have access, partner with someone who can provide access, such as an attendee or a co-organizer. I personally use Zoom, but there are many other equivalents out there that will get the job done. Just make sure as you bring on a tool, you understand what, if any, limitations they may have. So some of the free tools may limit how many attendees you can have, how many times you can screen share, or also how long you can meet for. I also, with my meetings, like to capture the chats when we meet virtually. That's a great way for us to reshare any links or Twitter handles that have been shared with the group. And I email it out using Eventbrite post-meeting to thank everyone for coming and provide a resource. So the last thing, content. What are you going to talk about when you create your Salesforce Saturday? The short, easy answer is anything. As a reminder, Salesforce Saturdays don't have to have an agenda. But I do like to follow one simple formula at the beginning of every Salesforce Saturday. I start with introduction. I usually lean on the following prompts: name, workplace, whether it's your first Salesforce Saturday with the chapter, Twitter handle, followed up by a post in the chat if you're virtual, and an optional question, such as, what was the favorite thing you've done in the past month? Then consider whether or not you want to do focused discussions. Again, Salesforce Saturdays don't have to have an agenda, but sometimes it's easier to provide your attendees with a little bit of guidance to get the creative juices flowing. Some things we've done in Chicago is we've done a tips, tricks, and hacks session where we encourage our attendees to demo something, whether it's 30 seconds or 10 minutes, that they have discovered, created, or just think is cool and would be useful to others. We've had conversations around mentorship, networking, and job search advice. We also encourage those who are looking and are hiring to put those comments out there so we can help pair people up when appropriate. And always encourage your members to suggest topics, whether or not they want to present them themselves. So the last big piece is the secret sauce. This is the glue that holds your Salesforce Saturday chapter together. So what do I mean by that? Well, there are a few components. First, celebrate. Celebrate your wins. Celebrate milestones, achievements, certifications, new jobs, first-timers, really anything that people are excited about, you can celebrate. Swag. While you don't have a budget, there are some creative ways to share swag with your group. One way is to order stickers. There are promotions out there for Sticker Mule, and I'll share my referral link in the resources. Many times you can participate in one of the sticker swaps and get stickers that you can redistribute to your members. When you're able to meet in person, one of the things Chicago has found successful is encouraging our members to bring in swag that maybe they are not wanting or not needing anymore. It's a great way to rehome that swag with those who may not have the same opportunities to acquire it. It's always exciting to see someone get their first piece of Salesforce swag. The next thing I like to do is I like to survey and iterate. Annually, I use a Google form to collect feedback from my attendees to understand how often they come, what keeps them coming, and what we can do better. And I've learned a lot of interesting things along the way. One of those things is, while Salesforce Saturdays don't have to have an agenda, my attendees do like to have a focused agenda every once in a while. So that's something we've tried to incorporate into our meetings. And the cardinal rule, have fun. If you're having fun, your attendees are going to have fun. And with that, I wish you luck and hope that I see you start a Salesforce Saturday in your hometown. Thank you.
And with that, we're at the end. Where are you planning to start your Salesforce Saturday? Comment below. We would also love to hear what video topics you want us to cover in future videos in the comments. If you've made it to this point, we want to take an opportunity to say thank you. Since you stayed with us, here's a bonus. Check out salesforcesaturday.com to find the Salesforce Saturday near you and join the community. Thank you for spending time with us. Please like and subscribe to our channel because we share weekly content to support your tech and Salesforce learning journey. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss a new video. We also handpick these videos which we recommend you watch next. Connect with us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and on 100daysoftrailhead.com, all of which are listed below. Thank you for learning with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.